Hey friends, this is Nick, and I call my channel DZ Performance, and I really appreciate you tuning in. The project that I got for you this weekend is I got the opportunity to go to the Austin, Texas area and dyno test once again, and I tested two 427 motors. The motor on my right is wearing chrome valve covers, and that is original style 427, the way GM built those motors. With a standard bore would be 4 1/4. The stroke would be a 3.76. The motor on my left wearing the black valve covers, it is a 396, but it has a 454 crank in it. So it is a stroked 396 that gets a total cubic inches of a 436. So two 427s built differently, long stroke versus short stroke. 427 motors. Usually we wait till the end to go over all the specs, but I'm going to tell you that the traditional 454 with the chrome valve covers, it has 5 more cubic inches than the stroker. The stroker motor has a 0.9 more compression, basically almost 1 point more compression. So it's kind of a trade-off. One's got a plus on the other cubic inches, and one's got a plus on the compression. So medium hydraulic roller cam, Victor Jr. intake. I'll be back to go over the dyno results with you and share the full specs on each one of these motors. Hey guys, I keep calling this motor with the chrome valve covers a 454. It is a 427. I've done 3 takes and I can't get it right. Just keep in mind, I get the cubic inches confused every once in a while. Thank you. Okay, let me go in detail on each one of these motors so you've got the specs and know what we're looking at here. This is a 454 block from somewhere in the mid 70s. It's bored a 4.32 bore, so it's a 70 over bore. The crankshaft that's in it is a 71 model 402 crank. It's the same length crank as all the 427s and 396s. It's a 3.76 length stroke crank. It is a cast crank. The mains have ARP studs with a windage tray. The oil pans that I was run on both these motors are just a standard GM Chevelle style oil pan. The pistons are Keith Black KB 227s-70 that's bored 70 over. The deck height is somewhere around 7 thousandths in the hole. The cylinder heads are 049s. They have a minor pocket port bowl blend on them. They have 2.25-inch intake valves with 1.88 exhaust valves. Just real minor bowl blend pocket porting. The compression ratio on this motor is a 9.7. It run comp cams, Pro Magnet. Specs on the Stroker 396. It has a 454 crankshaft, a LS6 style windage tray, ARP studs on a 2-bolt main, a Chevelle style oil pan. It's a 1968 396 block, bored 60 over, bored to a 4.165. The cylinder heads are a casting number 290. They have comp cams, 929-16 valve springs on them. They are upgraded with 219 intake valves and 1.88 exhaust valves. They have a mild pocket port bowl blend. The motor was run with a Edelbrock Victor Jr. I'm frequently asked when I build these motors what the part number is for the Stroker 396 pistons. Keith Black, they're KB 361.040. That's the 40 over bore for this motor. It's actually a 60 on a 1967 block. On a 70 or 71 block, that's a 40 over bore. Camshaft specs for both motors, the long stroke and the short stroke 427 in this test, is it's a custom cam ground with a 239 duration on the intake, measured at 50 thousandths. It's a 247 duration at 50 thousandths on the exhaust. On the intake lift is a 0.540. On the exhaust, it's a 0.560 with a 108 lobe separation. Okay, I'm here to review the dyno sheets with you. This is the traditional short stroke 427. It made a peak horsepower of 553 horsepower, and the torque was 521 foot-pounds of torque. The Stroker motor was the clear winner. It made 556 horsepower and 526 foot-pounds of torque. I was rooting for the big bore traditional 427 to win, but the advantage of the 9/10 of a point of compression, I believe, was just too big of a difference in the two motors. I would like to have the compression a little closer, but I'm just running the parts that I got. Once again, the bore and stroke on the 396 was a 4.165, a 4-inch bore. The torque peak was 526, with the horsepower peak being a 556. It was the clear winner by 3 horses and 5 foot-pounds of torque. Not exactly what I expected. I really thought the big bore would have better airflow and run away at the top end, but it just didn't happen. If we had a larger cam and wrapping these motors out to probably 6,500 to 7,000, you would, my opinion is you would have saw a difference. But there just wasn't that big a difference when, operating range. See, maximum RPM on this was 6,100 is where it peaked at, and that just wasn't enough for the big bore motor to catch up. Even though it had 5 cubic inches, it just couldn't overcome the compression. The cylinder heads, I believed the 049s versus the 290s. I've flow tested both, and I thought they were a little better, or I had them flow tested, but it just didn't work out that way. This is Nick. Thanks for watching.